Today, we started off our day with my high-intensity stuff. Not very long, especially this close to the fight. Just to get my body used to going full speed, recovering quickly, full speed recovering, and yeah, feeling amazing. Yeah, feeling unstoppable. I never wanted to be gifted anything. I wanted to fight the best of the best. And Khamzat, as soon as he made the change to middleweight, I knew that our paths were destined to cross, and that's a fight I wanted. Somebody unbeaten. For me, it's about the quality of opponents. Who did I beat? Fighting guys that are the best of the best, and Khamzat's that guy. I'm not going out there to survive anything. I'm going out there to hunt. I'm a hunter, I'm not a survivor. I'm going out there to flourish from the first second to the last. I'm there to win in the most spectacular fashion possible. The whole world's excited for this fight because it's truly the two best guys fighting each other. And everybody knows Khamzat is the best next guy. I just know that I am the best.
I'm a big fan of Khamzat. I don't think he has any reason to toot my horn or to even be humbled. He doesn't have to be. I mean, heavyweights fear him.
It was basically firing the nervous system. It was short, it was sweet, it was explosive, but it was only 7 minutes total work, actually.
We train with Coach Val, work hard. It's not easy to work here and go for the fight.
I don't know what to say. I just want to go fight, make money, bro. I'm making more money than the other champs does. So all the money, I see in the money, I see in the good life, I see in the crazy cars, watches, clothes. I have a belt, make more money.
Khamzat Chimaev is a next-level fighter. He shoots from a long distance and is the king of grappling. This fight is an absolute test of his skills against the most dangerous fighter in the middleweight division right now, and that's Dricus du Plessis.
Khamzat Chimaev is finally getting a title shot. 14-0. He's taking on Dricus du Plessis, who's absolutely in his prime right now. 31 years old, has 23 wins, 2 losses, is an athletic freak. Not the most rhythm type guy, but he's actually, when it comes to a gas tank, freak show. When it comes to athlete, he's a freak show. Khamzat Chimaev, probably one of the scariest dudes the UFC has ever seen. He's 6'2", 31 years old, and he steamrolls people.
Meanwhile, UFC heavyweight fighter Jon Jones has nothing but respect for Khamzat Chimaev. He even called him one of the scariest guys in MMA.
Chimaev said that you are the scariest guy in MMA.
That's a huge compliment coming from Khamzat. I'm a big fan of Khamzat. I don't think he has any reason to toot my horn or to even be humbled. He doesn't have to be. I mean, heavyweights fear him. And the fact that he has so much respect for me really means a lot. It shows me a lot about his character, his humility to be able to compliment someone in such a huge way. So I'm very grateful and honored.
While Jones is not choosing favorites in the upcoming Khamzat versus Dricus du Plessis matchup, he says he is looking forward to watching 2 elite warriors do battle and hopes both have long and successful MMA careers.
Will you watch his fight against DDP?
Absolutely. I absolutely watch this fight. I'm not rooting for anyone. I'm just a big fan of martial arts. I want to see them both go on and have long, prosperous MMA careers. I will watch the fight for sure.
But you cannot say who is the favorite, right?
No, I don't really have a favorite. I just enjoy the sport. May the best man win. I hope they both have great careers.
Chimaev has been in the ring with the best top-ranked contenders. He knows exactly how to handle the heat and pressure inside the cage. He is coming with the confidence that he has gained from all the fights, and that's the key that can make him champ.
He got in the UFC, submitted John Phillips, TKO'd Rice McKee, KO'd Gerald Meerschaert, lifted up Jingling, walked him over to the cage, looked at Dana, was talking to Dana, slammed him on his dome piece, fought Gilbert Burns. He's fighting the best of the best. The dude's huge. I don't think he's ever really made 170. It looks like he walks around 210, and he's dialed in for this fight. He's dialed in. It's his first fight. I tell you one thing, 5 rounds. 25 minutes, changes the game, completely changes the game. The guy comes out 0 to 100 every single fight I've watched him in. 0 to 100. Guys that are vets like Usman, Gilbert Burns, these guys that can grapple hard, they give him some problems. But also, those fights were 3 rounds. He's taking on Dricus 5 rounds. Now, Dricus has been 5 rounds.
Dricus du Plessis is looking more prepared than ever. Ahead of UFC 319, the DDP has shown a jaw-dropping display of pad work. His speed, power, and precision prove he's ready for war. Whereas his competitor Khamzat is also revealing some rare grappling moments. He is a wrestling king, but beating DDP is still not an easy game for him. His insane training footage has boosted the anticipation ahead of the fight. Adding on, Dricus du Plessis has just revealed some honest reviews. He admitted Khamzat Chimaev is almost as good as people say, but ahead of UFC 319, DDP says he should not underestimate me. This review won't change his mission to walk in the cage and take him out.
The first time I saw him fight, I knew this guy was going to be special. 100%. I knew he was going to be special. There was a stage where he didn't fight for like 2 years or something. And listen, he speaks a lot more than he fights. I can tell you that much too. But there was a long period of time he was calling out every single person. That just started getting annoying. It was annoying. I mean, he was calling out welterweights, middleweights, light heavyweights, but he wasn't fighting anyone. But there was never ever a stage where I went, this guy's overrated. No, he is as good as people think. I think he's as good as people think. I just think I'm a lot better than people think.
Australian UFC fighter Alexander Volkanovski predicted that Khamzat has only 1 round to prove himself. If he survives, he will be the champion, but if the fight is dragged to the later rounds, the chances for Khamzat to win will slowly diminish. He is the one who shows his skills in the first round.
But I'm going to tell you how good Chimaev is. I don't think people know he's a good grappler and be like, oh, yeah, he's cool. But when it comes to MMA, grappling, wrestling, I could say he would probably be, if you had 1 round to prove yourself, Chimaev, hands down. I've got Chimaev. You know, you got Islam's and all that. 5 rounds, you know, I think his style suits better for the longer, you know, a 25 minutes or, you know, a 15 minutes. But 1 5-minute round, if you had to show me something, no one can show me better than Chimaev.
The most powerful skills that Khamzat possesses are his grappling, and that's not enough for him to win the throne. DDP can counter that skill easily. Alexander Volkanovski was blown away watching Khamzat Chimaev train with an Olympic gold medalist wrestler, and he admits it wasn't just a workout, it was a real battle.
I remember watching him do some wrestling with an Olympic wrestler. This guy just won the Olympics. It was like a heavyweight wrestler. The Olympics, just won a gold medal. And it was not long after. So you know he's in incredible nick. And they're training together and he was sort of holding his own. And you're like going, oh, yeah. No, I don't think you understand Olympic wrestling, in their prime Olympic wrestling. Just wrestling, though, only wrestling, grappling. No strikes involved. The difference. This guy's still fighting in the Olympics and winning gold medals. And he should be just taking Chimaev down at will. Like, every 30 seconds a new take.
Bodine Nickel, an American professional fighter and former freestyle wrestler, has seen Khamzat's training and he's impressed but not intimidated. Nickel respects Khamzat's pure wrestling skills, but still finds it hard to say Khamzat can win.
Did any of you guys happen to see the training footage that just came out on Khamzat? He was with the Russian national team.
I did,
Will you admit that he looked a little better than that? I thought he looked a little sharper than I was aware he was.
He's pretty good, yeah, pure wrestling. He's got some skills. What information do we have? We have a short video of him training with good wrestlers. We have video of him beating up some high school kids in Sweden. And then we have video of him throwing down guys in MMA who have never grappled at a competitive high world-class level. Do I think he's like a guy that could be top 3, top 5 in the world?
Boers has skills, but Bo says he's a top 3 wrestler in the world and predicts Khamzat will gas out when the fight heats up. When that happens, Bo's takedowns will dominate and Khamzat won't know what hit him.
Probably not. Myself, I know that I'm a top 3 guy in the world. I don't think there's really a guy in the world at 86 kilos that could beat me in wrestling right now. His biggest thing that's gonna crush him, especially against a fight against me, is you're gonna get tired. You're going to go like this, and I'm gonna go like this as the fight goes on. You're not gonna take me down, so you're gonna have to strike with me. I'm probably gonna be able to take you down, and the longer the fight goes, the worse it's gonna get.
Volkanovski even said that if it's just a highlight, Khamzat's wrestling against a prime Olympic gold medalist was insanely impressive, and you don't see that very often in the UFC. Volk knows Khamzat is going to cause Dricus du Plessis some serious problems early, and DDP knows he will get taken down.
So, is he gonna give Dricus du Plessis problems early? 100%. Big problems. Dricus knows that. What I loved listening to Dricus talk about, Dricus was talking about, yeah, is he gonna take me down? Yeah, 100%. I almost tried to do the South African accent there. I'm not even gonna bother. 100%, he knew it. He's like, yeah, of course. But he's like, but then he's like, yeah, that's all right. But is he gonna hold me down? Or how long can he hold me down? Is he gonna finish me? No. So he knows. And I love that, because that's what you need to know. You need to be like, oh no, I'm gonna work so much on my takedown defense, and I'm gonna tell myself I ain't getting taken down.
Dricus du Plessis isn't holding back his thoughts on Khamzat Chimaev. He calls him an absolute animal in the cage. Everything from his tireless pace to his suffocating pressure, DDP already knows Borz is just as dangerous as the hype. While he is absolutely giving Khamzat his respect, du Plessis is also just as confident that he has the arsenal, the power, and the plan to stop the storm and leave UFC 319 with his hand raised.
Khamzat's an incredible fighter, but you're fighting in the top 5 of the UFC. Everybody's incredible fighters. He has this one thing that works for him, and it's been good, but Khamzat is an absolute animal, absolutely. But I mean, you look at the Gilbert Burns fight, which you could have scored either way. You look at the Kamaru Usman fight, and you go, yeah, he did beat Robert Whittaker. Obviously, his teeth broke back. It's unfortunate. He is really good. So, deserving of a title shot 100% after that performance. If you look at the Strickland's last performance versus Paulo Costa, and then you look at Khamzat's last performance versus Robert Whittaker, that's a no-brainer that Khamzat gets the title fight. And I had my own selfish reasons. I was more excited to fight a Khamzat.
Arman Tsarukyan has just spilled the secrets and revealed what he believes is Khamzat Chimaev's game plan for Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319. From the early storm to the grappling pressure, Arman breaks down exactly how Borz plans to dismantle DDP and why it might not go as smoothly as Khamzat thinks.
Without giving anything away, of course, what is a good strategy Khamzat is looking at in terms of going at Dricus?
He does every fight the almost same things, and he's not gonna change anything. DDP thinks that Khamzat not gonna take him down.
He said he'll give him. I saw on Twitter, Dricus said he'll give him 10,000 for every time he's able to take him down.
If he's really thinks like he's gonna pay his 10,000, he's not gonna make money from that fight. He's gotta give all his money to Khamzat.
DDP's tough but stubborn fighter. He has dealt with worse ground positions where he scrambled out of bad spots and isn't going to get rattled easily by Khamzat's pressure. It's going to be a wild storm, but Dricus has the heart and experience to weather it and fight all the way deep into the later rounds.
The fact that Dricus is talking about, yeah, you'll get me down, but can you hold me down? He's putting himself in the worst positions possible. He's scrambling from bad positions with really good guys on top of him and doing endless rounds of it. So he's not gonna be flustered there. Just because of what I seen in an interview, and I sort of know enough about Dricus to know he's that guy that'll put the work in. He wouldn't be, again, he's not the most, like myself, we're not the most athletically gifted guys. It's all the other things that's made him a champion. And that's gonna be crucial in this fight, because he has to weather a storm, and this ain't any storm. This is gonna be a wild tornado, hurricanes, storm, big storm. That's what's coming at him.
Volkanovski breaks down Khamzat's grappling as pure mastery. Khamzat uses subtle yet incredibly powerful techniques of continuing to push down on the hips, pinching legs, and controlling with head and arm control, pulling opponents tight, restricting their movement. It is not just simply wrestling, it is an intelligent and constant control that makes it almost impossible to escape.
Look at all these little, now watch when to grab. Watch what I mean. There's all little tricks. He's holding this right arm is on his hip, putting a downwards pressure. He's got his, see that leg that's pinching? You could see, I don't know, you could see the screen here. He's got his leg here. So he is sort of sitting on that a little bit, pinching it with his leg there. While he's sitting a little bit, so his hips are putting a bit of pressure on his thigh, while his calf is lifting it up, while he's pinching. He's even got this arm up here on the neck. You know what I mean? Like all these little things, like he's so aware.
Volkanovski, being brutally honest, said Khamzat is an absolute powerhouse who trains insanely hard, but warns that relying on non-stop aggression can exhaust his gas tank later in that fight. He stresses Khabib's clever advice that Khamzat might benefit from more boxing to conserve energy, rather than constantly shooting takedowns. Volkanovski further believes that Khamzat will cause big problems early with his takedowns and pressure, but questions if his composure and stamina will hold up as the fight goes on.
Everything he does there is just, the mechanics behind everything is just so good to watch. I'm a big believer in all that sort of stuff. Big part of my game as well. And you see it there. You see it there. You see him just, that's the type of problems. That's not even wrestling. He will go wrestle like that first round. You do well to stop it. He will go hang on to this, hang on to that, grab something else, grab this, bang, get you down, hang on to you. But them little things with a Dricus, I think Dricus is, all right, he's going to be aware and slowly try and build himself up, knowing that he has to slowly peel off these little grips that I was telling you about. You know, maybe get hit a bit, but Dricus is tough. Strong enough to slowly take these levers off, start to build up, make Chimaev use his energy. Will he get straight up? Maybe not, but now he has to use energy to make sure he's holding him down. Dricus not losing composure, knowing that this is going to help him later on.
UFC veteran Gilbert Burns has given his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev. As we know, Khamzat Chimaev is just one win away from achieving his goal of becoming UFC champion. In order to do that though, he first needs to get through UFC middleweight champion Dricus du Plessis. Given what we've seen from DDP during his UFC run thus far, it's fair to say that this is a pretty tough fight for Khamzat. Burns said of Chimaev on the Show Me the Money podcast, "I do believe he might take Dricus down, might control him a little bit. I don't believe Dricus will get knocked out. I don't think he's going to get cut. I don't think he's going to get finished. I do believe Dricus is going to fight through all that. Get up. I think if he's slowing down the way he did against Kamaru Usman, against me, against a couple of other fighters, that the fight went late. I think it's a nightmare to fight Dricus." Gilbert Burns described Khamzat Chimaev's fighting style as that of a freaking truck. This means he relentlessly rushes his opponents with overwhelming wrestling pressure. Burns emphasized that the only way to stop such a force is to meet it head on. Burns said of Chimaev rushing his opponents with his wrestling, "The guy comes as a freaking truck. The only way to stop the truck is to have a car crash with the car. If you do have a car crash, Dricus, he gotta fight the adversity, but with the same energy. He's gotta give a lot of energy back." But I do believe Dricus, with all his experience, a lot of 5-round fighting, I think he's going to be able to recover, dig deep, and he hits so hard. Maybe a decision, but I do believe in a late finish. Not even that late. I think the 3rd to 4th round. That's my prediction. Khamzat Chimaev is in his best form and fully prepared to face one of the toughest challenges of his career. His training camp is intense, focusing on refining every aspect of his game, from explosive wrestling takedowns to improving his striking and persistence. Khamzat Chimaev has recently released new training footage that has set the MMA community abuzz. In preparation for his upcoming middleweight title fight against Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319, Chimaev is well focused on enhancing his cardio endurance.
You ready?
Let's kick it here. Go push it.
Go! Go!
Go, Khamzat. Blow teeth. Come here. Go.
Known for his fierce early round aggression, Chimaev is experiencing grueling cardio workouts to improve his stamina and performance over longer fights. There will be 2 warriors in the cage and only one will leave as the champion. Khamzat Chimaev, an unstoppable force known for relentless pressure, explosive strength, and a never-ending spirit ready to crush anyone in his way. Consider the other man. Standing across the cage is Dricus du Plessis, tactical, calculative, a man that can knock you out in an instant and has the mental capacity to avoid the most intense storms and outthink the predicted rush of wind. This might be the biggest opportunity of their career. This is not only about one fight, this is about legacy, reputation, and the consequences in the wake of it that could shape the relevance of the division. When that first bell sounds, the cage transforms into a battlefield and every punch matters, every takedown is critical, and time is fleeting. There is no margin for error. There will be no chance to catch air. There is no escape from the pressure. So the question stands, who has what it takes? Will Borz unleash his trademark storm and overwhelm DDP with raw aggression and ferocity? Or will Stillknock shock the world with his precision, power, and fight IQ to hand Khamzat his toughest challenge yet and maybe even his first loss? We want to hear from you. Who's your pick to come out on top? Are you going with the relentless Chimaev storm or backing Dricus's calculated shock? Drop your bold predictions and hot takes in the comments below. The fight is almost here and the world will be watching.